Hello and greetings in the name of the Most High God. Ma'ia Alaha in the Aramaic, or the Syriac, and his begotten Son, Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus the Messiah. Blessings of peace, love, joy, faith, and insight be upon you through this video. Yes, we are the ministry of the real truth, striving to bring you the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but, in regards to organised religion, churches, ministers, and their claims, etc., without the hype, fluff, or complete baloney. I am the Couch Humor. Today we are planning to review one of many free books left in a box on the street, which we found interesting due to their eye-catching titles. One of those was Glory Rising by Evangelist Jeff Jansen. But we were first prompted to do research on this particular man, and looky what we found. This is coming up. Okay, a brief quick review on his book Glory Rising, which we have here, we have in the background. Glory Rising by Jeff Jansen, which reads Walking in the Realms, Creative Miracles, Signs and Wonders. And on the back cover, Glory Rising, Walking in the Realm of Creative Miracles, Signs and Wonders. As spiritual beings, we live our lives in a supernatural dimension on a stage before angels and demons and the Lord of the Universe, Jeff Jansen. Glory Rising shows you how to experience the same kingdom truths and realities the early church walked in. Which church is he talking about? The breakaway from the Mother Church, or Roman Catholic Church perhaps? Protestant Church? Were basically protesters. They wanted to reform, change in regard to the Mother Church. They wanted changes made. Some stayed, some left, branched off, and created their own churches, separate from the Mother Church. Yes, Glory Rising shows you how to experience the same kingdom truths and realities the early church walked in. Jeff Jansen explores the mysteries of living in supernatural, where third heaven encounters, angelic visitations, and operating in the greater works that Jesus described become natural. As the body of Christ, we must get back to the true message of the gospel of the kingdom. Cultivate lifestyles of faith, worship, and intimacy with the Holy Spirit. Rise up as the blood-bought, spirit-filled children of God. Understand and experience the supernatural power of God. From the scriptures to church history to his own personal experience, Jeff shares marvelous stories illustrating what happens when eternity touches down in the earth, or on the earth. Well, Christianity is a struggle. It's a battle, fighting not so much men, but the principalities, the powers of the spiritual world, demons, devils, etc. Okay, so brief on this book. Okay, he's dedicated it to his wife and children. Right? Acknowledgements, he's acknowledging all these different people, especially the old theologians like A.W. Tozer and Kenneth Hagin. Right? You know Kenneth Hagin? Do a personal research on that guy. Seen a few videos on YouTube where he's making jokes in his church. He's got the audience cackling, and they claim they're all witches and stuff like that. They're all under the possession of the devil, etc. Yeah, and he also acknowledges John Knox, John Calvin, Charles Spurgeon, Evan Roberts, Saint Teresa of Avila, which is obviously a Roman Catholic saint, right? Mary of Agreda, so forth, Saint Anthony of Padua, okay, and so forth. And he has endorsements. Yeah, other people basically promoting him. A lot we're not familiar with. Only one here. The famous or infamous Sid Roth, who states, many think they can only experience the kingdom of heaven when they die, but Jeff Jansen teaches you how to be normal. It is normal to experience God's kingdom now. Sid Roth, host, It's Supernatural, you know that program? It's supernatural, where he's a stage for these people who had near-death experiences, etc., who have written the book. So he's like the promoter of it. Yeah, got the people in the audience clapping to cue, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it gives us a feeling it's all staged. Not a bad show though, it's not too bad. Watched it a few times. Okay, and there's no one else in here really that we recognise that are endorsing him. And you have the contents page. There's quite a lot of content there, 15 or more chapters of his discoveries. Forward to Bob Jones, for they prophesied the emergence of a hungry and desperate generation who would seek God wholeheartedly, and so forth. And there's a forward here, obviously by Paul Keith Davis, White Dove Ministries, and Bob Jones Ministries. Introduction page there. Yeah. There's quite a lot there, information there. The New Glory Revival, the Heavenly Visitor, St. Anthony of Padua. He covers quite a bit here. Okay, so we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. Looky what we found. He made a statement, 2021, just kill him. Prophet Jeff Jansen brags that the ushers at his church will not hesitate to shoot anyone who tries to pull something. In his article that follows, below that heading, self-proclaimed prophet Jeff Jansen spoke at a RAIN conference at Ignite Faith Church in Redmond, proclaiming where he bragged that the ushers as church will carry guns and will not hesitate to kill anyone who even thinks about starting something. Jansen kicked things off by declaring that Jesus was a tough guy and complained that the church today has turned effeminate, almost homosexual. The church we are so neutered, Jansen griped. We are so neutered, we are so effeminate. He states Jesus wasn't a wimp. Jansen continued, he was a tough guy, he was a man. Okay, he was a man when they were selling in his father's house. He went and he braided with a whip. Now that takes time. He's braiding a whip and he's like, I'm coming for you, he's putting it together. In other words, he's braiding or plaiting it. He was very deliberate and he was mad. He had a righteous anger. He's a man, he whipped them. Sorry, just whipped them. Oh, Jesus wouldn't do that. The heck he wouldn't. He was a man, he had it, but the church, the ecclesia, the government of God had been so neutered and so turned effeminate, almost homosexual. Okay, that's his rant. And he says he's just telling you straight up, it's just ridiculous. We are the men. Where's the maleness? Where's the I will defend the children, I will protect the family? His ushers at his church, they all pack. You know. You come to my place and you think about starting something, you're dead. They'll kill you, they'll shoot you because they're going to protect everybody else. You try to pull something, you're dead. Jansen said, listen guys, if I'm up there preaching and someone comes up running, make sure you get them, just kill them, just shoot them dead. And there's a video there of him professing that. Okay, from Vimeo. Have a little listen to that. Hopefully we don't incur a copy strike. Okay, there's a warning there. Does it have subtitles?
The church, we are so neutered. We are so neutered. We are so effeminate. Now that's not bad in itself, but there has to be balance. We are so neutered, so told that we're not necessary. We are so, that's not who we are. Jesus wasn't a wimp, I just want you to know. He was a tough guy. He was a man. Okay? He was a man. When they were selling in his father's house, he went and he braided a whip. Now that takes time.
Yeah, basically what we already read out. So it's just a way to get across to people, right? Okay. Verify that his people actually carry guns, his bodyguards or whatever. Verify that. Okay. Establish the facts. Provide the evidence. And here's some more of his rants, saying Trump will be back in office by June 2022 probably, or maybe of that year. Didn't happen. Prophet Jeff Jansen says the military will remove Biden and reinstate Trump by the end of April. Prophet Jeff Jansen says Trump was hand-selected to lead US back to Christianity, probably through God. Election is literally good versus evil. Prophet Jeff Jansen claims the US is under martial law as the military prepares to remove Biden and reinstate Trump in 2021. Did that happen? Yeah. We have another article here. Evangelical pastor Jeff Jansen, a self-described prophet, has been asked to step down from the ministry he co-founded and has chosen to leave his wife and family to pursue his own desires, according to emails sent out this week by his ministry's leadership team and wife. Jansen, a staunch supporter of former President Donald Trump and co-founder of Global Fire Ministries International in Tennessee, predicted in March that Trump would be back in office with the support of the military by the end of April. That would be April 2021. Despite that prophecy failing to come true, the pastor this week published videos on his official Facebook page saying he was tripling and quadrupling down on his prediction that the ex-president would return to the White House. But in the May 5 email reviewed by Newsweek, the leadership team at Global Fire Ministries said that Jansen had been asked to step down and that he and his wife would be separating. Jansen, the pastor's wife, co-founded the ministry with him 11.5 years ago. It is with deep sorrow that Jeff Jansen has been asked by his board to step down as co-senior leader of Global Fire Church and Global Fire Ministries due to unscriptural and unbiblical behaviour. He was asked to step down in April, and this was made public to the church body on May 2nd, 2021. A statement was released to partners and friends on May 5th, the email said, and there it is there. It's all there. He made the decision to leave his wife and family to pursue his own desires. He remains unrepentant and unremorseful, the ministry said. The best thing he took over his ministry. The statement noted that any further action or statements from Jansen should not be associated with Global Fire Ministries. Yeah. Unfortunately, Jeff struggled for many years dealing with the stress and warfare of his travels. Being a high-level recognised minister, this led to poor choices and coping mechanisms. They don't believe he was strong enough to withstand what was coming at him because of his very public stand for President Trump and against the dark side. When you take a stand like that, you must have no cracks in your armour. Jeff never really humbled himself enough to get healing for his soul and seal the cracks. She wrote. Who wrote this? Okay, somebody wrote this. Probably his wife. Okay, and there's much more there. Okay. Jeff Jansen becomes third prophet. He calls himself a prophet. Okay. To admit his predictions are bunk. They're all rubbish. Right-wing pastor and prophet Jeff Jansen said over the weekend that at that time, President Donald Trump was securely inaugurated into a second term on March 4th of 2021, that year, and revealed that his prophecies are intentionally vague because that is how God operates. Okay, got an excuse for them failing, but not coming true. And here's some more information here. Okay, it's got all these claims, and they say there's no truth behind those claims. That there wasn't 44 presidents, there was actually 18. Okay. So this video is just basically a heads up. Watch out for these type of evangelists that start saying they're a prophet, that they're actually Jesus, or that sort of stuff. They get a bit carried away there, maybe ruin their ministry by sleeping around with both males and females, prostitutes, etc. like that. We, the Ministry of the Real Truth, are simply making you out there aware, right, awakening you to these possibilities that you could be or you are being duped, led down the wrong path in your walk of faith, your belief in Christ, etc. Okay. Have eyes that see and ears that hear, right, and a mouth that speaks the truth, reveals the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, right? Not pushing fluff, hype, and other baloney sausage. Okay. So if you like insight into this particular ministry and this particular evangelist, then subscribe to our channel, the Ministry of the Real Truth. Give us a couple of these, thumbs up, a like, add your comments down below. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can, and share this video with all your Christian friends, family, and neighbours. Tell them all about us, the Ministry of the Real Truth. It brings you the whole truth, the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No fluff and no other silly baloney sausage.